Hey everybody, welcome back to the Vinyl Nation right here on Record-ology. Thank you so much for your support. All right, you guys are the first to know that my wife's prophecy that upon donating all of my separates, or many of them, a couple of months ago, that I would be, buying them back, and today's show completes that. Yes, indeed, that has come to fulfillment. I have indeed purchased a 5-disc changer, but I think it's going to be a cool one. You're not going to want to miss this. Somewhere deep down inside me, I knew this was going to happen. The Blu-ray player does play CDs fine, but you would think that a modern optical disc drive like a Blu-ray player would be a great CD player. There's no features on it. There's no, not that I use a lot of, programmable features and whatnot a lot, but there's nothing whatsoever at all. You can't program a CD. There's no repeat. It's just literally play stop on that Blu-ray player from Samsung. And I was kind of surprised about that. So, I was missing those features that I, came to, expect really on a dedicated CD player. Plus, it's a really good excuse to get another one. I love gadgets. I love discovering new stuff. This is a Sony. We've had a lot of Sonys lately. A lot. We've had a couple. But, this is still in the prime, in my opinion, of Sony's, good era of making like premium electronics. They were just known in the 90s, when I was coming of age, as being a company that made really good stuff. If you had Sony VCR, you knew it was going to be a good VCR. Sony TV, best TVs out there. I mean, it was just the way it was. Completely different story with that OEM Chinese record player we reviewed the other day. Another thing that attracted me to this device was the fact that it was made this century, if you can believe that. It was made in the year 2000. They sold these up until 2001. Back here, it's all shiny from the Clorox wipe, but it does have a digital out. My old Symphonic did not have that. So I can run a digital out from this straight into my mini disc player. And obviously got an analog output, May of 2000. So that's really, really interesting. And we'll test all of this out, obviously. But on the front panel here, you will see that you've got all of the controls I would expect to have in the remote, which is good because I don't have the remote, right here on the front panel. So, and some features I don't even know what it does, like edit and time fade, peak search, stuff like that. You can manually select discs. That's important. You can shuffle, you can program, you can repeat. Those are all huge features to me. This features the disc exchange system that Sony was famous for, which basically means that you can have the thing eject and change out discs while it's playing one. It doesn't rely on the tray being in the in position in order to play a CD. Music scan, and there's a fader, which is kind of interesting. Manual transport controls, exchange, disc skip, AMS search, push to enter, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it is a CD player. It's not a DVD. I was open to the possibility of getting a 5-disc DVD changer for the use of CDs, not for DVDs, but I thought that would be fine. It kind of, I figured, would get me a newer unit. But when I saw the fact that this thing was, basically 20 years old, which, for this show, that's brand new. I thought that was really, really cool. It's $19.95 at the thrift store, and I thought that was a fair deal. You could get these for $10, $15, but lately they've been going for $30 and $40. The demand must be going up on them. And yeah, I mean, that's all there is to say about it, really. And we're going to look inside. We're going to test it. We're going to open it up, see how it works, clean it out. This front panel here is very reminiscent of my mini disc recorder from Sony. So I think they're from the same series. They're approximately the same era. All right, it comes to life. That's a good sign. I hear it searching for discs, and then it kind of came to a stop. Everything's lit up. Looks good. I like that. It says no disc, which I didn't expect there to be. Let's go ahead and open the tray. Now, is this one of those? Okay, cool. Good. I was wondering, some CD changers, 5-disc CD changers, the tray comes like nearly all the way out, which is really unnecessary in my opinion. I mean, you don't need the thing to extend out where you could reach all the discs at once. So I'm glad to see that this one only extends out approximately, I don't know, 7-8 inches from the device. I think that that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and skip it through here. We'll just give it a sort of a cursory cleaning, and then we'll play or attempt to play a disc here in a minute. Oops, I hit that button too many times. That was my fault. That didn't do anything wrong. Seems pretty clean, actually. It seems cleaner than the Sony record player that was only like 72 months old that we reviewed the other day that looked like it had been in a time capsule, you know, since the beginning of time. This thing is in a remarkably good condition. There's a little bit of dust on the outside, but it looks sharp. I mean, it's got all the features I think that I would expect. It looks good. It cleaned up really well. But the big question is, does it play? So let me go ahead and hook up an external speaker and we'll give it a shot. Now, this thing really cleaned up nicely and I am pretty excited. I think it's going to work good. So I've got an external speaker here hooked up just off camera right by the microphone. I'm going to put in a couple of CDs here. I'm going to put in one CD because the other CD case was empty. Disc number 5. So let's just start by selecting that on the display there. And see if it automatically starts playing. Yeah, it works. Cool. And then we should be able to skip by rotating this. Awesome. And then we should press and hold here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a couple more CDs in. And I'm going to rotate it to this position, put one CD in there. So we've got a disc in 5, 1, and 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send it back in. Everything sounds good in terms of the mechanism, so I'm hopeful that this is working good. See where it picks up here. Picks up on disc 2. Chieftains. Seems like it works perfectly fine. Now, see how I could rotate it without having the, I gotta turn that down before we get dinged. It's playing the disc, but I can still access the tray, which is a great feature. That's what happens when I hit the exchange button. Now, what is the difference between that and the eject button? So let's try. So let me move this over here so you can see a little better. So we're playing music, and instead of hitting a disc exchange, I hit eject. Okay, so that will stop the disc and eject it. That's the difference. So if you want to maintain the disc playing, you need to hit that button right there. Let's try some of these fade features and stuff. Now over here, just like my mini disc player, it shows the first 20 tracks visually, and if there's less than that, as there was in this case, it goes down to 10. If there's more than that, then you could still access those tracks, but it just shows the first 20 on the screen. So let's turn the volume up here again. I'm going to hit the fade button and see what happens. Cool. It just slowly fades out the song. That's interesting, but cool. And then if I hit it again, does it come back? It does. It's like literally just a fade in and fade out button. I don't know. I mean, if you were DJing or you were like doing event music and you didn't want to have an abrupt stop, I could see that. That's kind of a bizarre feature. Music scan's got to be just like a scanning type of feature where it plays the first few seconds of a song and then goes on to the next, I'm guessing. So music scan. Yeah. I think this will have all the features that I'm looking for. Really, really cool. Now, if you remember, it was probably a year and a half or so ago, we reviewed the very first 5-disc changer that I ever owned, which was a Sony, but it was from 1990 or 91. It was literally 10 years older than this unit. That one, we never really got it working right. It had issues. The Symphonic, ironically, worked much better. Okay, so here it is. A look under the hood. This thing is a beast. You could fit a 12-inch LP record in here if it had a record player easily. And I know some of the Toshibas did. Cool. I love looking inside stuff, seeing how it works. So, pretty typical for Sony's. The CD player itself is actually back here. Obviously the tray is what it is. This thing is clean. It is clean, and I don't see any issues with it whatsoever. I'm not going to take anything apart. I'm not going to do anything besides enjoy it. Now, I've done something rather stupid because I've taken the lid off while it's powered on. So obviously you don't want to do this, but I wanted to show you how this worked. So let's go ahead and show you how we can switch between discs. You can see how it works. Spins up the disc. And if I want to skip to the next disc, just press the button. It can sense when there's actually a disc there, when it's an empty spot. When it finds a disc, it spins it up. And now back to that disc exchange. Let's say I wanted to put a new disc in while it's still playing that one. In fact, let's hit play on that. It'll go ahead and play that irrespective of where the tray is located. That is the disc exchange system. So let's take a closer look at some of this cool stuff. You can see the disc spinning up right here, the CD player itself. You don't want to look too intently down there. There's some debate over whether or not a CD laser will do any damage, but better to be safe than sorry. But isn't that cool that it operates independent of the tray? All the different cogs and wheels, some metal, some plastic, where the display is mounted and all that good stuff. Power supply, somewhat isolated over here. Capacitors, everything should be in good condition considering how not too old this device is. It should have a lot of good life left. I mean, Sony had a lot of CD player experience under the belt at this point. So there it is, you guys, the Sony, this is the CDP CE 345 compact disc player, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely looking forward to having a dedicated CD player again. Cool stuff. Okay guys, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a part of the Nation. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends about the Nation. If you comment, even on other videos, let people know that you like it, that you're having fun, you know, just to help kind of spread the word, I would appreciate it. Anyway, that's gonna do it for now, guys. Happy record hunting. We'll see you next time.